Rangers, after 2 years of waiting, teasing, and begging for anything about the Great Labyrinth, we were finally given the opportunity to play the Let's Update to Slime Ranchers 2 Into the Labyrinth. Seriously, having to wait for anything about this area is like your parents jiggling car keys to your face. You know you're going to get a car, but what kind of car? So in the meantime, you wait for the grand reveal. During those 2 years, we had a total of 4 major updates. Some were decent, while others were a godsend. Catch My Way was probably one of the most needed updates, allowed the player to fully customize their ranch without the restrictions of gadget sites being in the way. In the first game, you were restricted by a certain place that the game allows you to. If you wanted to add a gordo on your home, well, you could not. In Labyrinth 2, you can, and I can prove it. Okay, let's go up here, go on top, and... oh. You know what? Never mind. This is probably the worst update ever. Bottom tier, listen, Mononoke Park, I do not care that my home is not structurally built for a gordo to be placed on. Likely break faster than my self-esteem. But you know what? This is my home, my choice. I want to see an army of gummy dots bringing me home after every adventure. It just sounds nice. Anyway, I got sidetracked. What was I going with this? Oh yeah, Into the Labyrinth is probably the best update so far in Slime Rancher history. A while ago, I made a video criticizing the sequel for essentially being a copy clone of the first game, but a fresh coat of paint. Well, Mononoke Park heard me and said, hold my Skittles, because instead of tasting the rainbow, we are the rainbow. The Great Labyrinth is an update that fixes some of the problems I have with the game. This new update includes a new area, map rework, and importantly, new slimes. Now this game is still in early access, I hope I could still provide some feedback to improve the game. Before I get started, I want to give my fellow Nintendo Switch users, brothers and sisters, a fellow salute. Hold on a little longer, you will get your chance to play this glorious game. Also, I will divide the video into different sections of the game. I will discuss the Great Labyrinth itself, slimes, mechanics, and end with my overall thoughts. With that said, let's get back to it.
Hey, you're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right?
Into the Labyrinth is the 5th update for Slime Rancher 2, where we the player finally explore the mysterious Great Labyrinth that first hinted at since the beginning of the game's announcement. The Labyrinth is divided into 3 sections that are called the Inner, Outer, and Dreamland. To get into the Labyrinth, you first need to go to Ember Valley. In Ember Valley, there is an area heavy with volcanic activity. There, you should see a strange ancient structure that you can enter. From there is where the main entrance of the Labyrinth is. Talk to Victor and he will give you a radiant projector blueprint that allows you to reflect sunlight. Make sure you have plenty of resources to make these gadgets, because you need several, at least about 4. Once you have used the gadget to access is where the real fun begins. The inner labyrinth of the Great Labyrinth is a mesmerizing maze of ancient machines and twisted tunnels. What was once a marvel of architectural ingenuity now lies as a shadow of its former self, a forgotten relic of a bygone era. Massive mechanical pathways, once bustling with purpose, creaks and groans as they struggle to hold their structure. The only form of life that resides in this area is the slimes that they call their home. Next comes the Outer Labyrinth, where the real adventure begins. This area is structured like a massive castle, complete with towering spires and bridges that set it apart from any else in the game so far. Its open layout is filled with secrets, creating a labyrinth experience where it's all too easy to lose your way. Finally, there is the most mesmerizing section, Dreamland. While it shares the castle-like structure of the Outer Labyrinth, Dreamland feels more heavenly. That's the best way to describe it. With its alien purple vegetation and cosmic mysteries, the area exudes an almost magical serenity. It feels like a safe haven for anyone who stumbles upon it, despite the lurking dangers hidden within its ruins. Somehow, you find yourself at peace. It's hard to put into words, a dreamy ambience that lives up to its name. Did you know there's another area of the labyrinth? Yeah, I didn't know either until I did some research about the update. There is an area named the Aquarium where you can find it in the Starlight Strand underneath the Flutter portal. I'm not going to spoil too much about the area because the appeal of the game exploration. Let's just say this update is a lot bigger than we were given. So in a way, we got 4 sub-areas instead of 3. Considering how fast and detailed the Great Labyrinth is, it is no surprise it took the developers 2 years to complete. As the largest map design they have ever created, it is a true testament to their ambition. I've gotten more lost here than any other map even after unlocking all 4 sections. While I'm not usually a fan of confusing layouts, I'll make an exception for the Great Labyrinth. After all, it's a labyrinth. It's meant to be complex, disorienting, and challenging. The design reflects this beautifully, with each section having its own unique identity. The inner labyrinth is technological, filled with intricate machinery and pipes streaming across its landscape. The outer labyrinth feels more natural, with lush vegetation dominating the area. Meanwhile, Dreamland takes on a spiritual quality with its magical atmosphere and surreal beauty. These 3 interconnected areas, technological, environmental, and spiritual, create a poetic balance. They offer something for every type of player to enjoy and connect, making the Great Labyrinth an unforgettable experience. Just like every new generation of Pokemon, the fans look forward to what new creatures to find. New slimes is something always to be excited for. In this news update, we get 3: Shadow, Twin, and Slumber Slimes. Each can be found in one of the main 3 areas of the labyrinth. The Shadow Slime is the first you encounter upon entering the labyrinth. Much like the Gold Slime, Shadow Slimes cannot be fat-packed, consumed by tar, or produce plort under normal conditions. However, when struck by an item, they drop a single plort without consuming the item itself. The Twin Slime, commonly found in the outer labyrinth, these little Tide Pods are an oddity. Their vibrant color-changing abilities are a result of the mysterious Prisma Core, which seems to have fused 2 slimes into one unique being. This fusion grants the Twin Slime a fascinating ability, creating 2 interconnected portals, one to enter and one to exit. Finally, the Slumber Slime. These little sleepy beauties can be found in Dreamland. Just like their name suggests, when agitated, they will release a puff of clouds, causing nearby slimes to fall asleep. Even without the Slumber Slime's presence, every once in a while, slimes will begin to sleep on their own, something I would never have thought I wanted. What makes these slimes so unique is that they are not animal-like. Have you noticed that many of the new slimes, except Yogi, are animal-inspired? Something I have complained about once before. Don't get me wrong, I do not mind seeing slimes being inspired by Earth animals. Because the setting of Slime Rancher takes place on an alien planet, it is nice to see some variation of slimes that are alien. The 3 slimes designed for the Great Labyrinth does a good job at this, making the world more alien. The Shadow Slime opposing appearance make it as the opposite from what the rainbow theme of the island. The Twin Slime is the result from the Prisma Core effects, while the Slumber Slime is the oddball of the group, not opposing the theme of the Rainbow Island nor the creation of the Prisma Core. Or is it? A slime that is more spiritual, perhaps more alien than the others. Oh boy, where do I begin? With every new update, there is always some sort of new mechanic introduced. The Song of the Saber update brought in snow. Come rain or slime, added a weather system. Get It My Way, free customization, and Proto Market created an open market to use your new box. Now, Into the Labyrinth has brought in several new additional mechanics. I guess the most prevalent is the Prisma Disruption. Every once in a while, a wave of color energy erupts certain areas of the map, which causes items to become unstable. By having a slime consuming an unstable item, you can exchange its unstable plort through a Prisma portal. By throwing these unstable plorts into a portal, it will turn into Prisma plorts. These plorts can be used for making gadgets. One of these handy gadgets are the disruption detectors. The gadget informs the player wherever there is a Prisma disruption is about to happen. Another cool thing about the update is the overhaul of the map's layout. Now you're able to mark whatever part of the map and it will guide you where you need to be, which is a really nice change. The biggest surprise was the introduction of a new NPC named Gigi, a new character entirely who guides you through your time in the labyrinth. Honestly, a new NPC is a breath of fresh air. It's nice to see the whole gang from the first game make a return into the sequel. I was just hoping eventually we get to see a new face. There is more I could get into about this update, like new resources, gadgets, and upgrades, but I mainly want to share my thoughts of my overall experience with the update. Great this update is, my main complaint is the sundials. I heard it takes about over 1,000 shadow cards in total to unlock every sundial, which is a crazy amount. The map of the labyrinth is huge, so there's plenty of exploration to keep the player distracted while encountering shadow slimes. Even still, it feels way too tedious to have so many shadow plorts collected. My recommendation may be having it where about 450 shadow plorts are needed, making about 25 shadow plorts for each 18 sundials. When part 2 does come out, I think increasing it to 1,000. Another complaint is the disruption detectors, a gadget that informs you when a personal disruption is about to appear. I didn't find much use in it. It's nice to have a gadget that informs you of potential resource collecting. Most of the time though, I accidentally bumped into them by accident. Also, you need to go into your map often to even know the detectors are detecting anything. No notifications, nor signal informing of anything. Otherwise, the update is amazing. Overall, this update is definitely 2 years in the making. I just wish I was playing this game for the first time. If I had the chance to wipe my memories of even playing this game and replaying it all over again, I would take it. Slime 2 has come a long way since its release. First appearing as a cash grab, it's now becoming its own identity. The elements of Slime Rancher are still there as a game of exploration, ranching, and sheer adorableness. It's now becoming a true sequel thanks to its update. There is finally a story to aim for, a beautiful whole new world to explore, and importantly, the slimes. Oh boy, the slimes are definitely the best part of it all. I don't expect what the future will hold for the sequel. What is certain is that we are reaching closer to full release. I am speculating that part 2 is likely going to be a grand full release out of early access. We just have to wait and see. What do you think, dear ranchers, of the update? Was my review fair? Let me know down below. Like always, stay wiggly. Also, have you guys noticed that my icon looks similar to Kiki's design? I don't know. Coincidence? I think not.